Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 10 at Turfway Park on Jeff Ruby Stakes Saturdays for the 3-year-old fillies. Let's take a look at the field for the $150,000 Bourbonette Oaks. We are going a 2-turn mile on the Polytrack Racing Service. Mike, it is a big field of competitive, evenly matched horses. The 9 Laura's Lights 9-5 on the morning line. She's trying a synthetic route for the first time.
Yes, she is. Big field or not, though, she looks like a legit favorite in here, Dan. She's just run well in all of her races. And even though this is her first route on synthetic, she's handled synthetic before, and she's handled routes before.
And she has early speed, as we see from the Timeform US Pace Projector. The 9 Laura's Lights stretching out off of a successful victory, going 5.5 on the turf. Should be forward, if not outright on the early lead. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's some hitting going on in the early portion of this race, Mike. It's a big field. Some of these fillies are stretching out. This pace might be fast, and it could set things up for a late kicker.
I thought so, too. I thought that you might get a fast pace in this race. We'll see if it affects the favorite or not.
Number 1 is Mama's Gray Ghost, who's cross-entered at Laurel Park on Saturday, where she is based. If she runs here, her sire Violence does pretty well with synthetic horses, 21% winners overall. And this filly's a half to Indy Ann, who was a multiple Grade 3 stakes-winning sprinter on both dirt and on synthetic. Here's Mama's Gray Ghost's maiden win last time out at Laurel. I thought it was more workmanlike than anything else. She got up close to the pace. She finishes it off nicely as the favorite. She's going to have to stretch out. She's going to have to handle synthetic for the first time. She'll show speed from the rail if she goes here.
Yeah, and she might have to handle a fast pace as well. We'll see what happens. She's going to have to improve to win this. But, you know, overall, Dan, I thought she looked okay in each of her first 2 starts. She's got enough pedigree to handle the surface, which there are things to like for a horse who's 20-1 on the line.
Number 2 is Swanage, 12-1 on the morning line. Rafael Hernandez, Steve Asmussen. First time for Asmussen. This one was third last time out, making her second start off the layoff, winning the Michael Maker barn. She's been the beaten favorite in both of her starts at this Turfway meet. What kind of trip do you think she's going to pull in here, Mike? She was on the lead last time out, battling out a long way.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I don't think she's a need-the-lead type, but we'll see what happens. I mean, last time, they just got really aggressive with her in that race. And all things considered, Dan, she finished third. She might have run the best race in there. Under pressure the entire way. Fought off the first challenge, was immediately taken on again, fought that horse off, and then just couldn't stop the closers late. But she ran really well last time.
No, I agree. It was a good performance. And if she can sit just behind the lead and take advantage of that inside post, perhaps a good trip is coming. Queen of God, 9-2, Arad Ortiz. This is a 3-time winner who just scored last time out in one of those starter stakes races on the turf at Gulfstream Park. We turn into the stretch, 50-1 shot on the lead. That's La Ruzia, who's running one of the Stronach 5 races at Gulfstream on Friday. La Ruzia ran very well for a 50-1 shot. I like how Queen of God was digging in the lane. There wasn't a lot of pace for her to attack, and she gets up late. That being said, it was only a 66 buyer, and she's going to now have to do it over a synthetic surface for the first time, but it is Maker.
It is. I appreciate how game she is, and she, you know, does have tactical speed as well, so maybe she gets a good trip in here, Dan. I do think she has to improve to win this, though.
In the race we talked about with the 2 Swanage, Oxum Power, the number 4, was a winner, but as you mentioned, that pace just seemed like it helped the 4-horse come from far back, and that's her style. She is a true one-run closer. She has no speed whatsoever. I'm willing to give her some credit for overcoming big fields and coming from far out of it in her first 2 races. She could get pace again. This is the class test.
It is. She ran well first time out, you know, just had no speed at all, but she made a big run in there. Last time, she did have a really good setup. They went wicked fast in front of her, but she was also basically eliminated at the start of that race. I mean, a horse carried her out. She lost a ton of ground in there with a bad start, and she overcame that too. She's pretty good so far.
And she's going to be a price in this race, stepping up. She's 8-1 on the morning line. Past the plate is the number 5. This is a filly trying synthetic for the first time by Temple City, 16% winners with all synthetic runners. The Dam was a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. Faced a pretty good field last time out at the fairgrounds. I think that Alms is a pretty nice turf filly for Michael Stidham. And the runner-up came back to win a stakes race on the turf at the fairgrounds with a 75 buyer. Her numbers are going the right way, Mike, and she has the right running style. 4-1 to me is a little bit light, but maybe she drifts.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I think she's a major player in here. I mean, you have to worry about the surface switch, but if she handles it, I don't know why she's not a major player in this race, Dan. Faced a good horse on turf last time, faced a real good horse on dirt 2 starts back. This filly's all right.
Fashion Code is the number 6. This horse, well beaten last time out, went third in the Cincinnati Trophy. I just didn't think much of that race. She only earned a 54 Beyer speed figure. And while she might have the right running style for this race, and certainly an excellent trainer in Steve Asmussen, this $275,000 yearling, she's going to have to step it up.
She's going to have to improve. We'll see if she can do it. She did bump into a sharp horse last time, but she was no factor in that race.
The 7 Impeccable Style figures to take some money. Her first start as a 3-year-old was against the divisional leader, that's Finite, and against last year's 2-year-old filly champion British Idiom and the Rachel Alexandra, and she was far from embarrassed in that race. Uncle Mo connects with 15% of his synthetic progeny, but this filly is going to have to prove it on a synthetic surface, and she's going to be a fairly short price at post time.
Right. I don't know if I would take a short price on her. I will say I did like her 2 races last year as a 2-year-old, and I'm willing to give her the Rachel Alexandra. You know, we'll see if she handles synthetic. To me, that's the biggest question in the race. I do think she has some ability.
Las Ramblas is a course and distance winner. She was claimed, though, for $30,000 out of that maiden victory. Since then, mixed bag from 4 lifetime starts, and you wonder how much upside is there after 7 races. Stretching out in distance, she could be close to the pace, and I'm not sure that running style plays.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. She has a lot to prove in this race, but she's a huge price on the line.
Let's talk a little bit about the 9, Laura's Light, the morning line favorite and probably the post-time favorite. Really liked the way she won the Sweet Life last time out. She was cutting back from a mile to 5.5, and she got a really nice ride from Abel Cedillo, splitting horses on the backstretch, going after this leader and gamely running her down. She has won at a mile in the past on turf. As you mentioned in the open, she has already won one on a synthetic surface, although that was Tapeta, and this is obviously Polytrack. She's just the horse to beat if she can get a comfortable trip up close.
Yeah, I mean, she is. She just, she's made no mistakes so far. She's run well every time. It was very interesting to see her handle that cutback last time, Dan, because she didn't even break that great. I mean, she bobbled at the start, but she just had so much natural speed that she got the trip that she wanted. I mean, there's just so much to like about her. She's clearly the horse to beat.
KBG, winner 2 starts back for a $50,000 tag, tried the synthetic surface last time out in the aforementioned Cincinnati Trophy, tried to hustle up on the inside into a pretty quick pace and paid the price. That fig in the dirt race 2 starts back sprinting would put her mildly on the bubble. I'm just not sure she's that kind of horse stretching out on synth.
I don't know if she is either. She's sort of a one-hit wonder at this point, and she's going to have to do better on this surface.
The 11 is Baby Carrot's debut winner at Turfway, going 6.5. Then they stretched her out and ran her on dirt. And the winner of that race, Miss Tap Dance, is returning in a stakes at Laurel on Saturday. She went right to the front. Baby Carrot's tried to keep pace and eventually tired. The 6th finisher came out of that race to win a $50,000 claimer at Laurel with only a 58 Beyer speed figure. Like several others in here, there might be some promise, but she also, her Beyers are just real light.
Yeah, I mean, she is 1 for 1 on the surface, and she's only made 2 starts in her career. So if you saw something that you liked in that winning debut, why not take a shot? She's going to be a huge price in here.
Secretly Wickeder in stakes placing last time out in the Cincinnati Trophy. She was far behind. She came with a good run. No match for the runaway winner. She finished ahead of 3 of these common foes. Again, we've seen 10 starts from her so far. I'm not sure if there's that big, gigantic Beyer explosion coming, but she has the right running style. And I assume they just take her back, try to save as much ground, and try to pick up a piece with a late flurry.
That's what I thought, too. I mean, she's hit the board in all 3 of her races over this surface. But as you say, she doesn't have the upside some of the others do.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Bourbonette Oaks. Mike, I think you might be onto something with the 2 Swanage. Looking at her trip last time out, she did do a lot of work in that race. And I think if you look at some of her other starts, she doesn't need the lead.
That's what I was hoping. I don't want her on ascend in this race. Listen, I'm not way against the favorite in here, Dan. I think that horse is clearly the one to beat. But I just thought this horse ran a lot better than it looks last time, and she's going to be a price in here.
I don't really want to bet against Laura's Light. I think she's the horse to beat. She is unfortunately going to be a short price in the Bourbonette Oaks. It's race number 10 at Turfway Park on Jeff Ruby Stakes Saturday with an approximate post time of 5:55 Eastern. Good luck.